So Diablo 4 is here, but only for those that are willing to drop down the extra money for the Deluxe or Ultra Edition. What do you actually get in the Deluxe or Ultra Edition? We'll talk about that and more, but more specifically, we're going to be focusing on whether or not this game is worth your time and money. So for Diablo fans, all I got to do is show you this, and you're probably sold on the premise. But maybe you're not sure about buying into the deluxe version because it is very, very expensive. The deluxe version will end up giving you access to the game now, 4 days prior to its actual launch date. But as a stroke of genius, Blizzard has added the battle pass to the deluxe version so that they could upcharge us. The thing that sucks is, as far as I can tell, the battle pass is not actually available until the full launch of the game, which makes sense because they want to synchronize it with everybody getting the standard edition, but it's just kind of stupid that they did that. And the Ultra Edition is literally the exact same, except you get a bunch of stuff in other Blizzard games that aren't Diablo 4, and you get some bonus levels towards the battle pass that you will slowly and naturally grind up anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's a waste of money. But should you end up buying the deluxe version just so you can play the game early? Honestly, if you're a fan of Diablo, Path of Exile, Lost Ark, and all that stuff, then yeah, you're going to love this game. It is a great time. In my experience playing the actual launched product, I haven't had a single crash or frame dip or any issues whatsoever. I haven't even had any disconnects. Now, granted, that could be because the majority of people are going to be getting the standard edition, and that's when the servers are really going to be pressed. But at the very least, it is still something that I was worried about, especially, you know, a queue. What's the queue time like? I have yet to deal with the queue time. And for everybody else that's wondering, okay, well, what's the deal with this game? Why is there hype around it, or why is there people that are dogging on it? Most of all, people are dogging on this game because people don't like Blizzard, and toxicity spreads like a plague over the internet. It is basically going to be something that is for clickbait channels because people respond to negativity more so than they do positivity. And it's a sad truth that a lot of content creators that are covering Diablo are kind of just like sad and disgruntled and mad at Blizzard for all the shenanigans they've been pulling. But in my experience as a Diablo fan who's played Diablo 1, 2, and 3 for many, many years, for many, many hours, and maxed out pretty much every class in all of those games, I can tell you that Diablo 4 is great so far. I'm not 100% sold on the story. It's a little bit more interesting than Diablo 3 was, but not nearly as compelling as Diablo 1 and 2, which, you know, makes sense. Those games are old and all those developers have long since moved on. But the most important thing is the gameplay. I'm hearing a lot of people say that, oh, it doesn't have the same spirit of Diablo. What the heck are these people talking about? Of course it does. It's literally Diablo. Here, I'll give you guys a quick spoiler. What you're seeing right here is the exact same content we're going to experience at the end game. Killing monsters and grinding for loot. The funny thing is, as much as you're probably already seeing all those clickbait dumb videos talking about like, this character's too weak or this character needs a buff, ignore all that crap. Nobody has got max level in this game. Nobody knows the meta. These people are just trying to, you know, capitalize on the views. Play the class that you enjoy and just hope that it doesn't suck at the end game. My experience with previous Diablo games was that when you ended up getting into the end game, that is to say when you got your character to max level, that's almost when you were done with the tutorial and the real game began. So until people have put hundreds of hours into that portion of the game, there is no justification for anyone making any complaints about a game that literally just released yesterday. Especially when we live in the same timeline that Redfall exists. Speaking of the end game, they did mention that greater rifts are no longer a thing, so I'm very curious to see if they actually made the end game interesting, because I didn't like greater rifts. Like, eventually it just got really, really old really, really fast. But aside from all of that, my main goal with this video was to save your time and just give you as brief an example of what the game is and what you can expect as quickly as possible. No 30-minute reviews, nothing that talks about spoilers, because there are no spoilers in this game. Sorry, Riker. Oh, and also out of my experience of playing this game as a Necromancer Summoner, so far it actually works okay. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be functional at the end game, but hopefully Asmongold will stop telling the devs to nerf a class he doesn't even main.